No saben So good evening everyone here in the room and back home. Make it yourself super comfortable and come to sit up with your legs crossed. Keep your eyes closed and find a comfortable seat, sitting up straight, and prepare yourself because we are going to start in a minute. So when we are sitting here, feel the surface underneath you, finding the space of the floor underneath you with your thighs and your sitting bones. And from there, see if you can lift up, reaching up through the spine and aiming a little bit higher throughout the crown of the head and beyond. So by reaching up, you want to find openness in the front of the body and in the back of the body. And while you have your eyes closed, simply become aware of the breath. Feeling how the breath flows through the body. And using the breath to arrive in class, arrive at your yoga mat. So you create space for the new things that are going to come. Let's start by bringing the hands together in front of the heart space and chanting 3 times Om together. Exhaling first, breathing deeply in, filling up. Bow your head towards the heart and dedicate your practice to someone else to make it an ultimate selfless practice. And when you're done, you can raise your hands down to the knees and open your eyes because we are going to chant a mantra, which is on page number 4 in your mantra book, or it's in a chat room on your screen, so you can chant along from home together with us. And it's a beautiful Vedic mantra, and basically, it says like, lead me from darkness to light, lead me from unreal to the real, and lead me from death. Like, we have a life where there's always an ending, but we can actually surrender to immortality. And that's what the mantra is about. It's super beautiful. So maybe you are familiar with it already, and then if not, you can join us if you feel ready. closing your eyes and simply feeling the vibration of the chanting in the body. And the word Amrit is something that we just chanted. You can keep your eyes closed. Yes. And that's the nectar of immortality. And it's something that we can gain through the practice of yoga. It's, like really a nectar, like, something you would indulge yourself with, and that basically gives you everything that you are looking for. And like this month we are discussing the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, and this is actually about the whole process of how to reach and aim for this nectar of immortality. So I'm going to tell you a little bit in like the conclusion of the whole book, or the outline of the book, so to say. So when we hear the word yoga and when it is mentioned, most people immediately think of a physical practice for stress reduction or stretching. And of course, yes, this is one aspect of yoga, but actually it's just a very, very small part. So the physical practice on the mat is primarily designed to facilitate the real practice of yoga, so to say. Namely, to understand and complete the mastery over our mind. I don't know if you have seen it when you enter the building, probably not for the people at home, but actually the definition of yoga is right there on the wall, because it says, yoga happens when the fluctuations of the mind are being stilled. So let's chew on that a little bit. In Sanskrit, it's the second sloga of the Yoga Sutras. It's yogas chitta vritti nirodha, which basically means that you can control your mind, and then yoga happens. So in the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, we can learn more about the makeup of the mind and more from a scientific approach. So there's a great depth, and it's also a practical handbook. And every time you pick it up, I usually read it once or twice a year. I always read something new. So there's always something to absorb for growth. So essentially, the Yoga Sutras cover 3 themes. So it describes the state of yoga, like I already shortly mentioned just now. But it also discusses the obstacles towards yoga. And then it offers a number of methods to move through the obstacles of yoga. So it's quite practical, as I already said. So, when you can control your mind, yoga chitta vritti nirodha, you could actually say that you are being in a state of yoga. And that state is characterized by freedom and peace and joy, because most people are simply caged in the world of their own minds. But in the state of yoga, this is a very limitless place. So, let's say, in our natural state, there is an ultimate peaceful situation. Imagine yourself sitting somewhere and suddenly you smell something great. You recognize this as a smell of a very warm croissant coming out of the oven. You remember it because you had many croissants in your life before, and you love them. So your mind starts fantasizing about having one of these croissants. And then there comes a moment that your mind decides that you want to have them, one of them at least, right now. And all these things happening in your mind give rise to an effort to, at the end, get a croissant. So the want was created, and unless you fulfill it by eating one of these croissants, your mind won't go back to the original peaceful situation. And this, of course, is a very simple example of, how, but also explains how the small and the big gross, subtle and patterns manifest in your own mind. So this example shows all the differences that we can actually perceive in the outside world, but they all come from our own mental modifications. So the entire world around us is based on your thoughts and your mental attitude. So basically your whole entire world is a projection of your own mind, of the likes, but also of the dislikes. So the likes you want more, and the dislikes you want to get away from. You want to distance yourself from it. Or you can also say, I want that, or I am afraid of this or that. And we get so deeply entangled in our own patterns that manifest as our own habits and addictions, that this turns into the belief of who we are. And this reinforces the illusion of separateness between you and the outside world. The invitation in yoga and also in the Yoga Sutras is to heal ourselves and to rediscover who we truly are, but yet in the same time also rediscover the wholeness in everything. So it's a little bit like loosening ourselves from all the patterns and therefore freeing ourselves from the mental modifications of the mind. So that was a small lecture about the Yoga Sutras. You probably need to hear this very many more times to truly understand it. So maybe you can come the whole month to class and then basically we gradually understand how it works, right? Or maybe it takes years, year after year after year. There's a reason that I pick up the book every year, right? Because there's always something new to learn. All right, let's slowly start to open the eyes. And you can place the mantra books to the sides. And let's start by some physical practice. And that is not only stretching and becoming more flexible, for example, but it's really about being in the body and using the whole practice as an example of how we move through our daily life, right? All right, let's see if we can come to stand at the front of the mat. And let's bring the big toes together, the side of the feet parallel to each other. And when you're standing like this, I want you to bring the tailbone a little bit more towards the heels. So you're dropping the tailbone down and therefore you're lengthening your lower back and engaging your belly just below your navel. Yeah, so the stand becomes super active. And you bring your arms parallel to the body in Samastitihi. And now you can close your eyes and you just start swaying the body a little bit forwards and backwards, playing with the balance. And maybe to the right and to the left. And every time you move through the middle, you feel a certain equanimity in the posture. So we are going to work with balances today, but there is never complete stillness in the balance. There's always some sort of movement. So you always want to find the balance when you're in the middle, moving from the right to the left. And don't freak out if you fall out or if you tend to fall out, because it's mostly the mind that tells you that you're going to fall out and then it's going to happen. All right, from here, let's see if we can open the eyes and come to stand on the toes. So still finding a length in your lower back, engaging the legs and engaging the lower belly. And now you can close your eyes and then see if you can still find a balance. And keeping your breath super subtle. On the inhale, reaching your arms over the head, stretching a little bit higher. Stretching higher on the toes, finding length throughout the whole body. And on the exhale, bringing your arms down, coming to stand on the whole platform of both feet. Alright, uniting our hands together in front of the heart. And let's exhale here together. On the inhale, bringing your arms up high, using the whole breathing to bring the arms up, look up towards the thumbs. And the whole exhale to fold forwards. On the inhale, lifting your chest up, bending the knees, stepping the right foot back. And stepping the left foot back. Come to a downward facing dog. Placing the feet hip width apart. And grounding the toes and the fingers from the roots deep down towards the floor. Breathing deeply in. And exhale, breathing out through the mouth. Breathing deeply in. And once more, breathing out through the mouth. Breathing deeply in. And on the next exhale, keeping your lips closed, but make the same sound in the back of the throat. So we are going to listen to our own breath during the rest of the practice. This is what we call an ujjayi breath. Breathing deeply in, filling up the whole rib cage. And exhale. Now on the next inhale, coming forwards towards a high plank. Pressing the heels away, finding the strength in the belly. And exhaling, lowering the whole body towards the floor, pointing the toes. And pressing the feet into the floor. On the inhale, lift your chest up. And exhale, come back down to the floor. Now curl the toes under, bring the seat back to the heels. And on the exhale, start to straighten the legs. Come to a downward facing dog. Again, try if you to bring the roots of your fingers and the toes down into the floor. And from those hands, see if you can lift up through the length of the arms, through the length of the spine. Breathing deeply in. And breathing out. Breathing deeply in. And breathing out. Breathing deeply in. And taking a final exhale. Now once more on the inhale, bring your shoulders forward, high plank. And again, exhaling, lowering the whole body towards the floor. Now point the toe, lift the knees. On the inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, come back down to the floor. Curl the toes under. Bring the seat back to the heels. And on the exhale, start to straighten the legs. Come to a downward facing dog. Taking one breath. And out. On the inhale, bring the right foot up. Step it forwards in between your hands. Now bringing the left foot forwards. On the inhale, lift the chest, head up. Exhale, folding forward over the legs. From the feet on the inhale, taking the whole inhale to lift the arms up. Open the chest, look up towards the thumbs. Exhale, bring the hands towards the heart. Breathing deeply and lifting the arms up high. Look up towards the thumbs. Now exhale, fold forwards. On the inhale, lift the chest up, head up. Bending the knees, left foot back. And the right foot back, come to a downward facing dog. Spreading the fingers wide, placing the feet hip width apart. Breathing deeply in, finding the length in the spine, finding spaciousness in your lower back. Breathing deeply in. And on the exhale, pull the belly button in and up towards the spine. Breathing deeply in, grounding your hands a little bit more down, especially your inner hands. Breathing deeply in. And out. Try to straighten the legs a little bit more. You're reaching with the heels towards the floor. And taking one final breath. And out. Alright. On the inhale, lifting the right foot up. And bring it forward in between your hands. We are going to bring the feet hip width apart. So there's a little bit more balance in the posture. And then slowly, let's bring the hands towards that right knee. Left heel is still up. And first you want to bring your front leg completely parallel to the floor. Right knee right above the right ankle. So take a little bit more space between your feet because your knee is a little bit over the ankle. A little bit more space. Yes. All right, on the inhale, lifting your arms up high. First reaching up on the inhale, and on the exhale, sink a little bit deeper in the posture, softening your shoulders. Breathing deeply in, feeling the space in your chest. Exhale, pull your belly button in and up to gain more strength in your lower belly. Breathing deeply in and out. Now on the inhale, bring both hands down to the floor. Left hand stays down. And on the inhale, let's bring the right arm up, coming to a simple twist. Bring your arms in one line, so the shoulders are in one line, the clavicles are in one line, and you reach a little bit higher on the inhale. And out. Taking one more deep breath in. And exhale, bring the right hand down, shifting the right foot back to a downward facing dog. Taking one breath in between. And out. On the inhale, left foot up. Step it forwards in between the hands. And coming up for Anjaneyasana. So first the left hand towards the right left knee. Pressing the right heel back, so your right leg is completely straight. And then on the inhale, when you have the balance, lifting your arms up high. Exhale, sinking a little bit deeper. Breathing deeply in. So on the inhale, you feel that there's a lot of space in the upper body. And on the exhale, you want to find a strength coming from below your navel. Breathing deeply in. And out. Taking one more breath in. And out. On the next inhale, bring both hands down to the floor. This time the right hand stays down. And on the inhale, you lift the left arm up. And really try to bring your shoulders in one line. So bring your upper shoulder a little bit away from your face. Bring the fingers together so you can really reach up the beautiful energy line, reaching up towards the ceiling. Taking one more deep breath in and out. On the inhale, bring both hands down, come to a high plank. And from the high plank, lower the whole body down to the floor. Going to toes. On the inhale, lift the knees, lift the chest. Keep the elbows into the ribs. Don't come up so high yet, we're still warming up. And then come to the floor, curl the toes under. And bring your seat back to the heels. From there, downward facing dog. Let's take 5 breaths. Breathing deeply in. And out. Deeply in. And out. Breathing deeply in. 3. And exhale. Breathing deeply in. 4. And out. And taking one more breath. And exhale. Bend the knees, look forwards. And then let's jump the feet forwards. On the inhale, lift the chest, lift the hands. And on the exhale, folding forward over the legs. From the feet on the inhale, lifting up your arms, open your chest up wide. Look up to your thumbs. And on the exhale, bring your hands together in front of the heart space. Breathing deeply in, lifting the arms up high. And on the exhale, folding forward over the legs. Breathing in, lift the heart and head. Exhale, bend the knees and stepping back, downward facing dog. Breathing in and breathing out. On the inhale, lift the right foot up. Now step it forwards in between your hands and the left heel stays up. And very slowly in one breath, bring your arms up high, reaching a little bit higher, and then exhale, sinking deeper in the posture. So you want to find softness in your shoulders, reaching up through the arms, and exhale. So bring your whole body a little bit more back, and really in the middle of your 2 legs. Breathing deeply in. Want to find length, and exhale, sinking a little bit deeper in the posture. On the inhale, now bring both hands down to the floor, come to a high plank, And then place the right hand in the middle of your chest. Roll to the outside of the right foot. Stack your left foot on top of it. And then on the inhale, let's lift the left arm up. Bring both arms in one line. And then reaching up, looking up towards the left hand if possible. Coming to a sidewards plank. So you really want to flex the feet. Pressing the pubic bone a little bit forwards. You're doing good. Really good. Taking one more breath. And exhale. On the inhale, bring your hand down. And coming back to a downward facing dog. Taking one smooth breath in between. And out. On the inhale, left foot up. And step it forwards in between the hands. Now on the inhale, in one go, lifting both arms up. First stretch, and then sink into the posture. Breathing deeply in, filling up the whole rib cage. Exhale, feeling the strength coming from below. Breathing deeply in, make sure that your back leg is completely straight. And exhale. And taking one more breath. And out. On the inhale, now bring both hands down to the floor. Come to a high plank. And this time the left hand in the middle of your chest. Roll to the outside of your left foot. And flex both feet. On the inhale, lifting your right arm up and then look towards your right hand. Breathing deeply in. Open your chest a little bit more. And out. Breathing deeply in. Fingers together. Reaching a little bit higher. And out. Taking one more breath. And exhale. And on the inhale, bring your right hand down. Come to a high plank. And from the high plank, come to a low plank. Or come to lay on the floor. Pointed toes. And on the inhale, lift the chest. Or come to an upward facing dog. Exhale, come back down. Curl the toes under. Bring the seat back to the heels. And then from there, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Taking a big breath in. And out. Let's take a break in child's pose. So you're going to bring the knees to the width of the mat. Connect the big toes together and come to rest with your arms forward in between your thighs. So there really should be enough space in between the thighs to rest the upper body in between. Softening the belly, softening the shoulders. And just really relax, melt towards the floor. So just reflect a little bit on how your practice was until now. Were you striving through the postures? Or are you actually feeling and breathing? Like, did you use the practice to actually enter where you are right now? Where your starting point is today, which is different than yesterday or half a year ago. Because you are different. There is a constant change. Actually, there is a constant change in the outer world. The only thing and the only place where we can find peace is if we still the projection of our own mind. So if we still the mind, then we can learn how to experience more peace in the wilderness, in the chaos around us. So you are here just for yourself. There's no need to prove anything to anyone. There's no particular reason to perform. The only aim is to be here and to build this more intimate relationship with yourself, with life, and with the here and now. Taking 5 more breaths. Taking rest.
Govinda Jaya Jaya, Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya, Radha Ramana Hari, Govinda Jaya Jaya, Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya, Radha Ramana Hari, Govinda Jaya Jaya.
And then slowly, in your next inhale, come to round yourself up. Bring up your head up long. And then let's come back to a downward facing dog. And really try to simply feel the posture. Feeling how the breath moves through the body. Feeling how the different body parts are working for you today. So maybe you find some stiffness in your right leg more than your left leg, or your shoulders feel a little bit heavy. These will all come and go. Will all come and go. Let's see if we can find the sensitivity to become aware of all this without getting affected by it. Taking one more deep breath in and out. So we're going to walk the hands back towards the feet slowly. And then here, standing at the end of the mat with the feet hip-width apart, we are going to bend the knees so we can place the belly on the thighs. We're going to hold the outer ankles, looking a little bit ahead towards the mat, taking a deep breath in, and on the exhale, now we're going to straighten the legs and folding forward over 2 straight legs. So try to straighten the legs and to stretch the legs as much as possible. There's no need to push yourself with the head towards the leg. Just let the neck feel free and soft. Maybe you can shake the head from left to right. And using the breath to come a little bit deeper into the posture. So on the inhale you lift and lengthen, and on the exhale you fold more forwards. On the inhale you lift and lengthen, and on the exhale you fold more forwards from the hips. Taking one final breath here, and out. Then on the exhale, bend your knees and shake your head from left to right, rolling the shoulders a couple of times. And just feel that your feet are standing on the floor. Feel them, make the connection towards the earth. And then from there on the inhale, slowly come to roll up further by further. We're moving very consciously. And then coming to stand with your head up balanced. So we are coming for a balanced posture, tree posture, Vrikshasana. So first we are going to root the left foot a little bit more down into the floor. So you can imagine that there are these big roots connected to your foot sole, and they really, like they suck you into the earth, right? And then we are going to lift the right leg up, hip height up, and then bring the left heel towards the right heel towards the right sitting bone. And then we are going to bring the right knee out to the side, pressing the right sole of the foot into the left thigh and the other way around. Placing your hands in towards the heart. And right here you want to think of steadiness from your navel, like someone is pulling you up in your kidney wings, so there's length happening. And if you like, you can bring your arms up over the head and finding even more length in the posture. Pressing your pubic bone a little bit forwards and bring your eyes to a steady spot without making your heart of your eyes super focused. Try to soften them a little bit. Taking one more breath. And on the exhale, bring your hands back towards the heart. Right knee forwards and gracefully stepping out. Right, coming to the other side. So first focus on the right foot and imagine those roots again underneath the sole of the right foot, and then bring the left knee to the front, left sole of the foot towards the left sitting bone, and then bring the knee out to the side. So you want to press the foot and the thigh towards each other, and from there we create this strength in the center of the body. All right, if you are ready, and then we are going to lift the arms up over the hand, finding an ultimate stretch and openness, like you're growing a little bit taller. So if you're a little bit wobbly, remember, go back to the start of class. So there is always some sort of movement happening in a balance. So if you fight against it, then of course there is a lot of things are happening in your mind, but if you simply allow it to happen, like, this is part of life, then it doesn't become such a struggle. It becomes much easier. All right, bring your hands again back towards the heart. Bring the left foot forwards, left knee forwards, and then gracefully stepping out. Bring your hands together in front of the heart space, and let's close the eyes for a couple of moments. Let's come to stand at the front of the mat. Alright, moving in towards the warrior postures. Opening the eyes, and let's exhale here together. So we're going to hook the thumbs, bend the knees, and on the inhale, scooping up, arching a little bit back, and on the exhale now fold forward over the legs. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the head, bend the knees, and stepping back, downward facing dog. Taking one breath, and out. On the inhale, lifting the right foot up, and step it in between the hands, and the left heel comes towards the floor. On the inhale, lifting your arms up high, and uniting the palms above the head. Exhale, sink a little bit deeper in the posture. Spinning the whole chest forwards, finding a little more length throughout the arms. And exhale, coming a little bit deeper into the posture. Breathing deeply in, pressing the hand palms together. And out. Breathing deeply in. And now on the exhale, opening up, warrior two. So maybe checking your back arm to see if it's in one line with the front, and then gazing back over the front. Breathing deeply in and out. So you want to find your upper body really in the middle of your two legs. And you want to make sure that your front leg is parallel to the floor, and the right knee doesn't come over the right ankle, but really is above that right ankle. Turning the left outer foot a little bit more in towards the floor. Let's take one more breath, and out. So on the inhale, now bring the hands back towards the floor. Come to a downward facing dog. Take one breath in between, and out. On the inhale, left foot up, step it forwards. Right heel comes down. On the inhale, using the whole inhale to lift the arms up. Look up towards the hands or look forwards. Exhale, sink a little bit deeper in your front leg. Breathing deeply in. And out, hand palms together. Breathing deeply in. And out. Taking one more breath. And now on the exhale, opening up, warrior two. So bringing your arms in one beautiful line, shoulders are in one line, and the clavicles are in one line. Looking over the left hand, and making sure that your upper body is in the middle of your two legs. So you need to bring your upper body a little bit more towards the back. You're hanging a little bit towards the front. Bring it really a little bit more backwards, like you're grabbing a key. Yes, perfect. Taking one more breath. And out. Now on the inhale, bring your hands back towards the floor. Come to a high plank. And from that high plank, bending the elbows, come to a low plank chaturanga. Now on the inhale, rolling over the toes, pressing the hands really into the floor. And then on the exhale, rolling over the toes, back to a downward facing dog. Breathing in. And breathing out. spine. Exhale, pulling your belly button in and up. Breathing in, connecting your hands to the floor, finding steadiness from below. And out. Breathing deeply in. Josephine, try to straighten your legs a little bit more. And exhale. And taking one final breath. And exhale. Now on the take one more inhale. And on the exhale, bend the knees, look forwards, and jump the feet forwards. On the inhale, lift the chest up, head up. Exhale, fold forward over 2 straight legs. Bending the knees, hook the thumbs, and on the inhale, scooping up, arching back, and then open your chest a little bit more. Exhale, hands together in front of your heart space. Once more, inhaling, coming up. Exhale, now fold forwards. On the inhale, lift your chest up, bend the knees, and stepping back, downward facing dog. Taking a breath in, and out. Inhale, lift the right foot up, and step it forwards in between the hands. Left heel turns towards the floor, so make sure you have the right setup. Use a little bit more space between the leg, because your knee is a little bit over the ankle. Yeah. Alright, on the inhale, lifting your arms up high. Exhale, taking one more breath in, finding the length. And now exhale, open up, warrior 2. Again, we are going to take one breath. And out. Inhale, straighten the front leg, lifting up your kneecaps. Exhale, stay here. And now on the inhale, reach forward so there's length on both sides of the upper body. And then bringing the right hand down to the shin or ankle, lifting the left arm up. Breathing deeply in. And exhale, pull the belly button in and up towards your spine to really create strength in your lower belly. Breathing deeply in. And out. Taking one more breath in. And out. Looking down. And on the inhale, come up. Exhale, bend the knees. And on the inhale, let's bring the hands back towards the floor. Come to a downward facing dog. Take one breath in between. And out. Bring the left heel up. And step it forward in between the hands. Right heel to the floor. And make sure you have a proper distance between the feet. Check your own knee and ankle. Front leg is parallel to the floor. And if that's the case, then on the inhale, lifting the arms up high. Exhale, sink a little bit deeper in your front leg. Bring the whole chest forwards, inhale. And on the exhale, now opening up, warrior 2. Taking one more breath in. And out. On the next inhale, lifting the front leg, stretching. Exhale, stay here, lift the kneecaps. Inhale, now start to reach forwards as far as you can. Bring the left hand down to the floor or to the shin and ankle. And then lifting the right arm up. Openness in the chest on the inhale. Exhale, bring your belly button in and up. Breathing deeply in. And out. Inhale. And out. Taking one final breath. And out. Looking down. And on the inhale, come up. Exhale, bending the front knee. On the inhale, bring your hands back to the floor and come to a high plank. And from the high plank, bending the elbows, come to a low plank chaturanga. On the inhale, now rolling over the toes, open the chest, look forward towards your nose. And an exhale, rolling back, downward facing dog. Let's take 5 breaths. Breathing deeply in. And out. Inhale. And out. Inhale. And out. 3. Placing the inner hands a little bit more down towards the floor. And out. Taking one final breath. And exhale, bend the knees, look forward. Jump the feet forwards. On the inhale, now lift the chest. And on the exhale, falling forward over the legs. On the inhale, lifting up your arms. Open your chest, grow a little bit taller. And exhale, hands together in front of the heart space. One last round. On the inhale, lifting the arms up high. And on the exhale, folding forward over the legs. Lifting the chest, lifting the head, bending the knees and stepping back to a down dog. Taking a deep breath in and out. On the inhale, lifting your right foot up and step it in between your hands. Left heel comes to the floor. On the inhale, lifting your arms up high. And immediately open up, warrior two. On the inhale, now reach forward. And then place your right hand on the inside of your foot. Maybe use a block or at home a thick book. And press your outer right arm to the inside of your right knee. And then on the inhale, lifting up with the left arm. And then bring it over your face. Try to bring the left ankle a little bit further away. So there's really more length between your two feet. Taking a deep breath in and out. Breathing deep in, sink a little bit lower with your hips. Taking one more breath. And on the exhale, look down. And then we are going to lift, place a block under the right shoulder. And lifting up with the left leg to come in Ardha Chandrasana. So we straighten both legs. And then we're going to lift up. And looking up maybe if you have the space. So you always want to bring the arms in one straight line. So if you're not using a block, the hand is not really under the shoulder but a little bit more in. So you can reach up from there. And your arms are still in one line. The angle always stays the same. If you're a little bit higher, then bring the hand a little bit more forwards. Alright, let's take one more breath. And exhale. On the inhale, bring both hands down. And smoothly, on the breath, go back to a downward facing dog. Take one breath in between. And out. On the inhale, lifting the left foot up. Step it in between your hands. And the right heel turns to the floor. Using the breath to lift the arms up. And exhale, opening up, warrior two. Then on the inhale, now reach forward. And place that hand on the inside of the left foot. And really create this sense of stability. So you press, you create a strong foundation by pressing the arm towards the inner knee. And you turn the right heel a little bit further away. So those are really turning in. And there is one beautiful line from the right outside the foot to the right middle finger. Turn the right side of the chest a little bit more up. And Vakya, try to bring your chin a little bit more in towards your chest. So your neck is in one line with the rest of your spine. Alright, look down. Place the right hand in the right hip. And take the block on the short side. Scoop it a little bit to the front and outside. And on the inhale, lifting that right arm up, coming to stand. Breathing deeply in and out. So if you use a block, use it on the short side. And otherwise, reach with your fingers towards the floor. So on this side, on the short side. Yeah, then you really have a lift, so your body becomes more vertical. And then bring the block a little bit more forwards. Like I explained this now, yeah. Yes, beautiful. Looking up towards the right hand. Flexing the back foot, Josephine. And really stacking the hips on top of each other. Wow, you have such a steady practice. I love it. And then look down on the inhale. Slowly moving back through the vinyasa. So come to a high plank. And from the high plank, bending the elbows, come to a low plank chaturanga. On the inhale, now roll forward over the toes, open chest. And exhale, rolling back, downward facing dog. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Taking one more breath in and out. Taking one final breath. And on the exhale, we're going to bend the knees, look forwards, and jump the feet forwards. On the inhale, now lift the chest. And on the exhale, folding forward over the legs. Feel the feet standing on the floor. This is your foundation. And for a sense, from this sensation of grounding, we're going to reach up. Create a lot of space in the chest. And reaching up through the midline, all the way up through the fingers. And exhale, come to stand with your arms parallel. Rolling your shoulders a couple of times to the back and to the front maybe. Softening the joints. Alright. And then let's come to stand with the feet wide. Turning the face in this direction. I turn towards the camera. But we turn the toes a little bit in. And we press the outer feet more down. So there is really a strong energy line and the legs are super engaged. You want to lift the kneecaps, facing your hands towards the hips. So first on the inhale, you want to look towards your nose, finding the length throughout the midline of the body. And on the exhale, you want to fold forwards. On the inhale now, halfway, elongate the spine forward, reaching forward through the crown of the head, placing your hands underneath the chest. And exhale, walk your hands a little bit in. On the inhale, you lift the chest, look forwards. And on the exhale, you fold all the way forwards. Maybe you want to bring your arms to a 90-degree angle. And folding a little bit more forwards on the exhale. Breathing in, finding a length in the spine. Exhale, folding more forwards from the hips. And you know, it's really not important how far and how deep you can come into this forward bend. It's more important how you deal with it. Are you pushing yourself through it? Or are you simply allowing it to happen? Observe the mind and use the breath to really become aware of all these patterns in your own mind and body. Taking 3 more breaths. Next inhale, lift the chest up high, look up, and then engage the legs even more, placing the hands back towards the hips. And on the next inhale, we're going to lift all the way up, look towards the nose, and bend the knees, and jump, or step the feet together, shake out the legs. And yeah, let's come and sit on the floor. So. First, we are going to come into Janu Sirsasana. So we are going to bend the right knee in. Left leg is completely straight. And his foot is flexed already. And then we're going to bring the knee to the outside. So first there is a 90-degree angle between the left leg and the right shin bone. And great to use a block underneath if you need some support. So you feel both sitting bones on the floor. And you want to use your left hand behind you to lift yourself out of your lower back. So if you've been sitting all day, a lot of people tend to hang in their lower back. In yoga, we really learn to lift and lengthen out of the lower back. It's actually much more healthy and a natural curve of the spine. So on the inhale, you reach up with the right hand to intensify the strength and the length. And on the exhale, you fold forwards, holding the outside of the left foot if possible, and then crossing over with the left arm to hold the inside of the right foot, left foot. On the inhale, you lift the chest, and again you create more length. And on the exhale, now you fold forward over the legs. Taking 5 breaths. Try to straighten the left leg completely. And just notice how the breath is flowing through the body. And maybe on every exhale you can soften a little bit more into that posture. And just notice if you're striving or if you really are pushing yourself now in the forward bend. This is really not necessary. Just allow it to happen using the breath and finding softness on every exhale. Taking one final breath and out. And on the next inhale you look up. And on the exhale, letting go of your left foot, slowly bring your hands up alongside the legs. We're going to bring this right knee in, straighten it out to the front, and let's come to the other side. So first bring the left knee in. We're going to close this knee first, and then bring it out to the side. So again, a 90-degree angle. And just notice now that your hips are looking towards the side. So the hip bones. And actually when we come to the forward bend, the hips should look to the front. So just imagine that you have a ball in your left hand and you are going to think of throwing it away and lifting your sitting bones a little bit up so your left sitting bone comes a little bit more forward. And then when you come to sit up, you notice that your hips are looking to the front. So this is the idea that we want to have in the forward bend, okay? Right hand behind you, lifting out of the sitting bones. Stretching and lifting using the left arm, opening in the front. Exhale, now fold forwards. Crossing over with the right arm. On the inhale, lift your chest to create space. And exhale, pulling forward over the leg. Soften your shoulders, soften your neck. And maybe you want to close your eyes. Taking 5 breaths. Pulling forward from the hips. So feel you want to come a little bit up and folding more forward from the hips, not necessarily rounding the upper back, because then only thing that you do is closing the upper body, but actually we want to have some space there. So come a little bit up. One more breath in. And out. Taking one final breath. And out. On the inhale, look up. Exhale, letting go of your front foot, sliding your hands slowly up. And then bring the knee in and straighten it out to the front. Okay, we're coming for Paschimottanasana. So first, 2 straight legs, feeling the sitting bones steadily on the floor. And then on the inhale first, we're going to create a little bit more space. So I want you to have a look. On the inhale, you want to find more length. And on the exhale, you want to come halfway forward. So you're not rounding your upper back, but you're hinging forward from the hips. So there is a mobility here happening in your hips. Alright, finding one more breath to lengthen in the posture. And now on the exhale, reaching all the way forward. So there is a sensation of reaching forward more than coming down. If you can interlace maybe the fingers behind the toes and behind the feet. And otherwise, simply hold your ankles. Lifting on the inhale, look up to create space in the front of the body. And without losing that space in the front of the body, you are going to come forwards. Taking 10 breaths. So Josephine, really try to keep this length of this space in your chest. So drawing your shoulder blades a little bit more together on the back. Yes, beautiful. And without reaching too much forward like that, rounding your upper back, try to keep this sense of openness there. Actually, it's exactly the same. Je doet precies hetzelfde in je benen. En het is meer het idee dat je niet meer naar voren komt. Maar er gebeurt niet heel erg. Dus je kunt ook eventueel een strap gebruiken. Zodat je op die manier, zeg maar, rustig, met heel veel geduld, stays with you. You don't become a better person if you can place your forehead on your shins, you know? You don't become, maybe, yeah, if you're really striving and pushing yourself through, then you probably don't become such a nice person. Alright, on the next inhale, look up. And on the exhale, letting go of your feet, slowly bringing your hands alongside the body, up, placing your hands behind you. Fingers are pointing to the front, and then we're coming up for a tabletop. So first, feet are standing hip width apart. And you already start to open your chest. And then you round the tail under, coming up and lifting up as high as possible. Pressing the hands and the feet firmly down into the floor. And then you start opening up, bringing the gaze back. And breathing in deeply towards your heart space. Exhale. Breathing deeply in. And out. Breathing deeply in. And out. Taking one more breath. Reaching up a little bit higher. And out. Then walk your hands towards your feet. And then we are going to stand in a squat. So first you want to lift up your hips a little bit so you can really bring the upper body in between the two legs. And then you want to come sit down and press the outer upper arms towards the inner knees. And yes, we all have the feet on the floor, that's perfect. And then you want to bring your hands towards the heart space, close the eyes, and maybe rolling your eyes in to the third eye. And also here you want to work on opening your chest a little bit more. So by pressing your hands together, you open the chest maybe a little bit more. You want to find length in your spine and finding a deep breath. Just using the breath to become aware of everything that is going on inside of your body. You can also think like, oh, I hate this posture. How long are we going to stand here for? Or maybe you think, oh, look at me, I'm so wonderful. Completely chilling out. Just become aware of it. Don't judge yourself for it, not necessary. Simply become aware. Look at it with a smile. Alright, then we are going to open up the eyes. And you can stay here. It's actually a super healthy posture to practice every day because it really opens your hips. So some yogis, they threw out their sofas in the room and they're just simply sitting like this, eating their breakfast like that, or like writing their journal. So now we are coming into Bakasana. So for that we are going to use a block. You can first see what we are going to do. So we are going to stand on the block and place the hands on the floor. Maybe at home you can use a thick book or so. So first you want to place both hands on the floor and come as high with the hips as possible. And also now you want to place the upper arms to, you really want to press them towards the inner knees and then start moving the body forwards. Maybe lifting one leg up, moving the body forwards, looking forwards, and then lifting the other foot up. Big toes touching. So the idea is bringing the whole body weight forwards. Don't be afraid. And keep on looking forwards. And after a couple of breaths, you're going to bring the feet again to the floor. Okay, it looks maybe a little bit scary, but it's not scary. It's always more in your mind, and therefore we do these postures because they really trigger a lot of stuff, right? But really try to think of lifting the hips first and then moving the body weight forwards. Actually, you don't need a lot of strength at all for this posture. Yeah, so come to stand on your block and come to stand on your toes. Spreading your knees out to the sides, placing your hands on the floor. And then bring the knees to the upper, outer arms. And really like press them towards them. And then think of shifting the body more forwards, and then don't look down, look a little bit ahead. Lifting one leg up, and then the other. Yeah, you just you can bring your body weight a little bit more forwards. Yeah. Yeah. Just a very small moment. It's a good start. Beautiful. Lifting your hips a little bit higher if you can. Yeah, if you fall out, try it again. Also back home. Well, traditionally we jump out to a low plank, but to come out you can simply now move the weight back. So we come in like this, right? And then simply moving the body weight back. But next stage is to jump back. Yeah. So you want to give it one more try? Yeah, it's playing hour, you can say. Just you know, when you were a child, you also didn't mind to fall out. You were just playing a little bit, right? Just give it a try. Ja, probeer een beetje meer naar voren te kijken. Ja, zo ja. Wordt het ook minder eng. Ja, nog meer je gewicht iets naar voren. Heel goed. Krijg je een beetje het gevoel? Heel klein beetje. Ja. Alright. So, then place the block to the side and let's stretch out in a downward facing dog. I think you did it very wonderful. Alright, on the inhale, let's lift the right foot up and place it in between the hands. We're going to hold the outer right ankle and then lifting the left leg up. So first we're coming up for a forward bend over the right leg. And if you are super familiar with it, you can even come for the balance, holding the ankle with the left foot too. Challenge yourself a little bit. And then bring both hands down to the floor, bending both knees. And then we're going to bring the left knee to the outside of the right foot. Right, so both sitting bones are now on the floor. If you have knee problems, then straighten your leg forwards. Also really okay. And otherwise make sure, in both situations that your big toe of the right foot is really firmly down on the floor. So you lift yourself out of your lower back again. So we are not being this sluggish person sitting behind your computer, but we really lift out of the lower back. On the inhale, you lift and lengthen throughout the left arm. And then you're going to hug this right knee in towards your chest. Walking the right hand a little bit away from the body, looking over your right shoulder. Breathing deeply and finding the central axis of the body, the midline. And from there, see if you can turn and twist a little bit more open on the exhale. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in. If your left leg is straight, then flex the foot. Taking one final breath. And out. Now on the inhale, look back to the front and release. And then we're going to cross the legs, placing both hands on the floor and stepping back to a downward facing dog. Taking one breath in between and out. Now it's the left leg that lifts up on the inhale and step it forwards. Already start holding this left ankle, and then on the inhale lifting the right leg up, reach it a little bit higher, point the foot, and then falling over the left leg. Maybe you want to come for the balance. gaze at least to one spot. And then placing both hands on the floor, bending both knees, and spiral down. So again, yogi's choice. You can either choose to keep your right leg straight or bent, and your left big toe is on the floor, firmly down. Placing your left hand behind you, so you want to lift and lengthen. On the inhale, reaching up with the right arm, and then hug that knee in towards your chest. So you want to sit up, creating this space in your lower back, and then twist and turn towards the left side. Walking your hands a little bit further away from the body, and just sensing the openness in your chest when you twist and turn. And exhale, breathing deeply in and out. Taking one more breath in and out. Inhale, come back towards the front, and then crossing the legs and stepping back to a downward facing dog. Taking a deep breath in and a deep breath out. On the inhale, now shoulders forwards, come to a high plank. And on the exhale, lower the whole body down towards the floor. We're just coming very lightly, touching the back bends. So we're coming with the arms parallel to the floor. The hands are gluing to the thighs. The big toes are touching. And then on the inhale, you first want to find a length in the posture. And on the inhale, you lift the chest up. Draw the shoulder blades a little bit towards each other. And then you can also start lifting the legs away from the floor. Point the big toes and reach them a little bit away from the body. So keeping the back legs straight. Lifting up from just below your navel. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and exhale, bring the right ear down, release. And bring the outer ankles a little bit out to the side, so there is a little bit more space in your lower back. Let's bring the forehead to the floor, and now let's bring the hands underneath the shoulder heads. Again, the big toes are together. And first, on the inhale, you find the length in the body. On the exhale, you lift the chest up, keeping the elbows in towards the ribs. And then you're also going to lift the legs up, keeping the legs straight towards your nose. Breathing in and out. Breathing in, lifting a little bit higher, and out. Taking one more inhale, and exhale, release. Arms alongside the body, left ear down, and to the rest. Now, come and lay on your back. Draw your knees in towards your chest. So you really want to round your back and drawing small circles on the sacrum. Close the eyes and simply feel how it is to lay here with your whole spine rounded on the floor. What does the breath do? How are the body sensations? And even how are your thoughts? Then don't judge yourself for having thoughts. It's totally okay. But just become aware of the thought patterns. And when we become aware and when we embrace them, we can maybe slow them a little bit more down. Alright, shaking the legs out to the sky. Vibrate it out, taking a deep breath into the chest. Exhale, open the mouth, releasing the air throughout the mouth. Breathing in and exhale. And let's do that one more time. Alright. Come to your right side. I'm going to show you a little something. So, I'm going to show you a safe way of coming into a headstand. So you want to come and have a look to see what we are going to do. So, first of all, to come up in a safe way into a headstand, we use our arm strength a lot, right? Because I see a lot of people in yoga class and they compress their neck, and our neck is so fragile that we really want to be careful with it. So just 20% of the body weight is resting on the neck and 80% is resting on the arm foundation. Okay, so today we're going to work on the arm foundation, and for that we really want to measure the length of the lower arms, because this is exactly the length, the width of the shoulders. So we hold the opposite elbow and then we root it down towards the floor. Then we are going to make a cup, and like most people rest the back of their head in a full headstand in that cup. But at home you can also use a tennis ball, for example, because you really want to have this like firm cup. Alright, so imagine that you have a tennis ball in between your cup. Alright, so rooting the elbows down, rooting the wrists down, and then we are not going to bring the head to the floor today. Okay, so root it down, bring the cup down to the floor and really make the connection to the floor. And from here we are going to straighten the legs and walk the feet a little bit in. My head now is still free, not touching the floor, and maybe I can even walk a little bit more in, lifting out of my shoulders. So I'm not hanging in my shoulders, but really lifting out there. So maybe walking a little bit more in, and I stay here, lifting my hips up as high up as possible. And then I want to stay here for at least 15 breaths. And if I'm capable of staying there for 15 breaths, then you should be strong enough to come up for a full headstand in the middle of the room. Yeah? So we're not going to practice today on the wall, but simply do this. Okay. So give it a try. Setting up in the right way. The pinky fingers are, yeah, so there's one, they're at the same level. Like that. Yeah? So the head is nice and free. You can maybe move your head from left to right, walking the feet a little bit in, and straighten the legs, walking the feet even more in. Count for yourself the 15 breaths. Really planting your elbows and your wrists firmly down to the floor. Making sure that your neck is nice and free, lifting your shoulders, lifting out of your shoulders, so don't hang in there. It's quite a strong practice. You can say maybe take rest in between. Or if you really want to come up for a full headstand, now coming to a full headstand. But then maybe you want to try at home to do this on a daily basis, so you really develop this strength in your shoulders and in your arms. Taking 10 more breaths if you are up in the headstand, and otherwise you can come down and already rest in the quiet child's pose. Chandrasekhara, Chandrasekhara, Chandrasekhara Pahimam. Chandrasekhara, Chandrasekhara, Chandrasekhara Rakshamam. extending your ribs a little bit too much out to the front. So really try to lengthen a little bit more in your spine. Okay? Yeah, try to bring this a little more back. This way, like you're pressing your pubic bone more forwards. Like we were doing in the standing posture in the front class. Yeah, it's okay. You're probably also a little bit tired. So take rest first, yeah. Yeah, it's like standing tall in front of the class. Now you're doing this. You actually want to bring the tail more in. So that's what you also want to do upside down. Yeah? Yeah? Okay. Alright, let's come to rest in a quiet child's... No, not the child's pose. If you just came out of dancing, you can still rest, of course. But otherwise, come and lay down in Shavasana. Maybe cover your eyes with something. And just notice what is going on with the breath and with the body before we drift off in this relaxing Shavasana. Again, become aware of all the body sensations. So again, this yoga we do on the mat is simply a visceral way of becoming more familiar with ourselves and how to act in the world, how our mind works, and how we actually project everything of ourselves onto the outer world. Now is the time to let it all go. So we shift from doing and thinking towards being and feeling. So open up a little bit more in your heart space, in your chest, and see if you can soften a little bit more there. Letting go of doing the breath, simply allow it to happen all by itself. Melting into the posture. Resting all the heavy body parts on the floor. The only thing you need to do now is letting go. Letting go. You don't need that. You don't need this. Simply let go. Satchachara Parapurnam Shivoham Shivoham Nityananda Swarupa Shivoham Shivoham Satchachara Parapurnam Shivoham Shivoham Nityananda Swarupa Shivoham 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 Shivoham. Very slowly we try to understand who we truly are and what little we understand. So the only way to find out is to practice and have a curious mind. So practice is really the most important factor in yoga. It's like falling and standing up again, and falling and standing up. And over time we become more familiar with ourselves, with the makeup of our mind. And slowly we are going to explore and experience a little bit more freedom and liberation. Drawing your knees in towards your chest. Making yourself very small, keeping your eyes closed, while you, in your own time, roll to the right side. Also there you want to take a couple of breaths before you come to sit up. So ultimately we find ourselves sitting again with our legs crossed, like at the start of class. Finding a steady and comfortable seat, grounded, and in the same time lifting up for our fullest potential, for this liberation and this nectar of immortality. So we might notice that the breath is a little bit more calm now. You might notice that also your mind is a little bit more steady and has slowed down a little bit. Just notice for yourself, without any expectations. Allow it to be as it is. Uniting your hands together in front of the heart space. Exhaling first, breathing in. follow Sadhguru Bhagavan Ki Jai. Yes, bowing forwards if you like. Opening your eyes and opening your palms. And thank you for giving it a good go today. Yes, thank you for sharing your energy tonight. Also back home. Thank you very much for joining. Hope to see you next time. Yeah, drink something before you go to bed. Make sure to hydrate the body again. Calm. If you have any questions or concerns, you can always ask me, of course. Hope to see you again. Yeah, it's the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. It's really one of the main books of yoga. It's what every teacher training almost teaches, because it's a very basic understanding of the whole, science side of yoga, so to say. How to understand ourselves. Yeah, it's really beautiful. Yeah. I think so. Yeah, it's it should be here in the. I can have a look. Yeah, and otherwise I can write you down the title. Yeah.
Siri